What is energy efficiency? Why is it so important? Let me try and paint you a picture of a world I like to imagine. A world without energy waste. A world where everyone consumes just enough to meet their needs. No more, no less. Lights are always off when nobody needs them. Lights in the home, but also in office buildings, public buildings and streets. Washing machines and dishwashers only run during periods of lowest demand. And heating systems deliver heat and supply steady temperatures where and when people need it the most. To me, this is a picture of an energy-efficient society. In an energy-efficient society, everyone enjoys the comfort and safety of energy access while actually consuming less, and no energy goes to waste. Today, as I see it, energy efficiency is key to balancing energy supply with demand. It's a first fuel towards a strategic net zero energy mix. And it's the most powerful tool we have for getting through the current energy crisis. Because the technologies we need to achieve energy efficiency are available and ready to go. And I'm here today to tell you about some of them. The lowest hanging fruits of energy efficiency. I'm Morten Bach Jensen. I'm the CEO of the Domestic Building Services Division at Grundfos, a global pump and water solutions company. Energy efficiency is something we at Grundfos have been championing for a long time. We know that today there are approximately 200 million circulator pumps of varying ages in need of replacement. 100 million of these in Europe alone. If all of these pumps were replaced by new energy-efficient pumps, power consumption would fall by what is equivalent to Portugal's total electricity consumption. Imagine the potential of that. In replacing a single appliance 200 million times, that's 200 million opportunities to save energy. 200 million opportunities to empower every society not only to consume less energy, but to augment the transition to renewable energy. Let's explore these 200 million opportunities. But first, let's dive into the energy challenge and see what we are up against. As you all know, the European energy crisis has reached an unprecedented level. The energy supply we all rely on is under constant threat. The International Energy Agency says that although we had the energy supplies to get through 2022, in 2023 and beyond, we may not be so lucky. And once supply balances again with demand, it could still take at least another year of recalibration before prices return to a sustainable level. In other words, the speed in which we handle the energy crisis in the immediate future, and we are talking months, not years, is incredibly crucial. But it's not only energy supply that's the problem, it's demand too. Because in many parts of the developed world, too much energy is being consumed, and too much is going to waste throughout many aspects of the economy, it being transportation, in industrial processes, and in commercial and residential buildings, where vast amounts of energy are wasted every day because simple measures to monitor and control energy usage are not in place. To get control of the energy crisis, we need to tackle energy waste today, because the less energy we use, the less vulnerable we are to shortfalls in supply. It's the shortfalls that drive energy prices, and high prices are taking their toll on people across Europe. In a survey of German and British citizens, 60% said that they are worried about rising energy bills. 25% are worried about blackouts. The good news is that the energy crisis is driving better decision-making, such as the transition towards electrical cars and electrical heat pumps. The bad news is that many consumers can't afford to make that transition. They can't even afford their monthly energy bills. Across the European Union, more than 34 million people are energy poor. Governments are doing what they can to offset or subsidize energy bills. But this is like putting a plaster on a broken bone. We need to think in more effective short-term solutions that people can afford and that play a key role in tomorrow's net zero energy strategy. Because in light of the current crisis, the energy strategy may falter as countries move to diversify their energy sources to avoid shortfalls. To reach net zero by 2050, countries need to drastically scale up renewable energy production, which currently accounts for only 22% of energy consumed in the European Union. But some countries have already reopened their coal plants and plan to open new ones. Some see these moves as major setbacks for the renewable transition. And the transition takes time, even without these setbacks. Case in point, it can take up to 10 years to build an offshore wind farm. We need a strategic mix of long and short-term clean energy sources if we are to meet our 2050 net zero goal. And one of those sources is energy efficiency. The IEA says that to be consistent with a path forward, reaching net zero emission by 2050, the total annual investment in energy efficiency worldwide needs to triple by 2030. In fact, the IEA calls energy efficiency the first fuel because it allows us to consume less energy today and to ensure there's enough to go around without taking us back to fossil-based production. Indeed, energy efficiency is the most powerful tool we have. The global economy is set to double in size over the next 20 years. But that doesn't mean that it should take twice as much energy to power all the extra cars, homes, and factories such growth will bring. By taking the available opportunities to become more energy efficient, we should need only the same amount of energy we use today. Especially when employing the latest digital and smart technologies. Let's just look again at energy in buildings. Buildings account for 40% of Europe's energy consumption. So here is a major opportunity to find energy savings. Pursuing energy efficiency in buildings will help decrease energy demand today. We saw this in 2022 when gas demand in buildings declined by 17%, mostly due to milder temperatures and behavioral changes sparked by the crisis. But some reductions were from building renovations and other efficiency measures. These measures have an immediate and long-term effect, unlike price caps and mandatory low temperatures. And there are so many benefits from energy efficiency measures. Not only can energy bills be immediately reduced, but renovations, retrofits, and new appliances create jobs and stimulate the economy. Energy efficiency measures also make it cheaper to pursue our net zero targets, and we reduce our dependency on oil from unstable or aggressive countries. When we look into the home, heating systems and boilers consume the largest amount of energy, more than 60%. Ensuring the heating system is optimized for efficiency is the number one move people can make to save on their energy bill. For example, replacing heating systems faster. In 2020, 64% of heating systems were inefficient. Making sure the system is balanced to run at the right times and settings and to distribute heat evenly is the second most effective move. Adding smarter thermostats to old inefficient heating systems is another smart action. And there are many, many more. Now, let's talk about circulator pumps. Do you know what they are? You may never think about it, but you all have one in your home or building. A circulator pump circulates hot water in the building's heating system. If you have an older circulator, it can be one of the highest consumers of electricity in your home. However, today's circulator pumps are up to 10 times more efficient than older pumps. And, as I said, we know that around the world there are approximately 200 million pumps of varying ages in need of replacement. I think of it as 200 million opportunities to build an energy-efficient society. Today's intelligent circulator pumps can be replaced at a relatively low cost. They are the definition of low-hanging fruit for energy efficiency. But why aren't they being implemented, you might ask? Because awareness of their potential is low. Homeowners don't know about the electricity saving potential of replacing their circulator pump. They don't know their circulator pump may be the cause of their high electricity bills. They don't know that all they need to do is to call an installer to have the old pump replaced with a new one. And how much they can save over the long term. Building owners, planners, engineers, and even installers may not be aware of the electricity saving potential of a modern circulator pump. And the same can be said for other low-cost energy efficient tools like radiator thermostats. And knowing is only half the battle. The other half is behavior change. Bad habits are hard to break. New habits are even harder to form. Look how long it took seatbelts to become the norm, or cycle helmets to be worn. And let's face it, as consumers, we are not in the habit of replacing household appliances if they still work. Your refrigerator from 1995 might be a huge drain on your energy bill, but as long as it still works, you'll save yourself the immediate cost of a new one. With circulator pumps, 99% of the emissions come from the consumption when they are in use. So we really do the world a favor by replacing the old ones. Cognitive scientists say the trick to behavioral change is to align the action with the goal. So if people begin to understand how much money they can save, actually see and feel the benefits of their behavior change, they will take action. They will replace that boiler with a heat pump or that 1990s circulator pump with a more modern, energy-efficient model. The more people we can empower with this information, the bigger difference we can make. As for myself, this is my mission: informing, educating, empowering people with knowledge of how they can save energy in their homes and buildings. And I'm convinced that working together, we can all make a difference. We can all spread the message, repeat, reiterate, and reinforce it, again and again, until we reach critical mass. And with a bit of policy support, we can build the motivation for change. Financial incentives like tax deductions and subsidies to guide retrofits, renovations, and appliance replacement. And even informational support like energy labels. There are so many actions that can be taken on a societal and policy level to motivate people to make the switch to energy-efficient circulator pumps, heating systems, and appliances. When we all work together, we can create change. And if we take action fast, we can help ensure energy security and alleviate energy poverty for 2023. Because 200 million opportunities are just waiting to help build a safe, comfortable, sustainable, and energy-efficient world.